What fresh hell is this? Hi everybody, it's start of a new week, which means it is the start of a new vlog. I didn't vlog at all yesterday. Today is Tuesday, which means it's been a couple of days since my last check-in. After finishing Strange the Dreamer, I didn't read anything else. I just didn't have it in me to. And yesterday I didn't read a whole lot either. On my usual walk to the gym, I listened to Becoming, and that's usually about an hour's walk because I don't walk very fast. And there's also a lot of like stop and goes because of the lights. So it's not quite an hour, I'd say maybe 45 minutes. I don't know how many pages that is, but I read for almost an hour of this audiobook. And I haven't read it all yet today. I plan on listening to some of that audiobook, and then I plan on reading for a tiny bit in between the break from job number 1 to job number 2 today. I'm working a double again. And as you can see, it's snowing right now. It's supposed to snow for several hours. We're supposed to be getting anywhere to 4 to 7 inches of snow. And then after it finishes snowing, we're supposed to get some like freezing rain and sleet. And we're expected to get up to like 1/10 of an inch of ice on the ground. So it's going to be rather hazardous, like traveling wise. So I have work tonight, but we'll see if it actually happens because the storm's a biggin'. Some guy just pulled over and offered me a ride, which was very nice, but I don't accept rides from strange men. Safety first and all that, but that was really nice of him. He looked like to be a kid about my age, but kid about my age, okay. He seemed really nice. He didn't set off any warning bells, but you can never be too careful, you know? But that was really nice. But that was really nice of him. Just kidding, I don't have work tonight, which is really awesome. Let me take off my shoes because it's wet. Am I going to use this time wisely and read? Probably not. It just took me 2 hours to get home. It's really bad outside. I actually had called out because my husband wasn't up to coming to get me at 9 because like it's going to be the worst at 9 and I don't want to drive in that, which is fair. So I called out, and 30 minutes later after I called out, they officially closed the library. It's snow day! Yay! All right, good morning everybody. I did not read a single thing yesterday. So apparently Tuesdays for me is not a good day for reading because I didn't read last Tuesday either. YouTube sang to me like the call of a siren, and of course I couldn't resist it. When I'm home and I don't actually have to do anything, I do everything but read because I feel like all I do is like read on the go. So when I'm home relaxing, that's kind of like the last thing I want to do. And unexpected snow day, I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch all the things I haven't watched in forever. You'd think I'd watch the movies I took out of the library, but I didn't do that. But I did one productive thing. I did my nails last night, and then I went to bed thinking they were completely dry, and they were not. I woke up and they were completely mussed, and I hate that because I waited an hour before going to bed. I'm like, an hour's plenty of time to go to sleep. But apparently I had done them a little too thick. So that's what I did this morning. I'm fixing them. I'm going to go shower and try to like clean up the edges a little bit. My appointment with the talent agent is today, and I want to look my best. So I couldn't actually go in there with really mussed up nails. I actually was going to take off the gray, like grayish purple I had on and just put on some clear. But if you're not aware of this, but 2 months ago, I had sliced my fingernail like right in the middle when I was shaving my legs around Christmas time. I was debating about wearing a skirt, so I'm like, oh, I'll shave my legs. And it had been so long since I've shaved my legs that I got really tired and really uncareful, I guess is the word I'm gonna go for. And I slipped and sliced the middle of this fingernail, and it's starting to grow out, and it's now where the cut is at the edge, and I'm really worried about leaving it uncovered because it goes from the edge to about maybe a quarter way through the nail, and I don't want it making the nail rip. I'm really scared of that happening. So we're going to keep nail polish on to hopefully salvage my nail. I really don't want to F up this nail because it'd be really incredibly painful, and I am a baby when it comes to that nonsense. If you guys didn't realize that from last week's video when I became a giant baby because I was sick. And what I need to do, I need to update that spreadsheet, because right now it looks like I haven't read in 2 days, and I totally did. It just, oh God, I'm falling behind on everything. I just turned on the shower, so if you're hearing that noise, that's what that is. But I just realized that I didn't tell you the best part about that nail story. I decided against the dress, so this was for naught. All right, so I'm all dressed and ready to go. I mean, not quite. I need to put on shoes. I put some sea salt spray in my hair to make it more wavy. I mean, my hair is usually pretty wavy, but I really wanted a lot of texture. And I just have this cute little blazer, this gray silk cami, and some jeans. I do plan on, right now I'm wearing my slippers, but I do plan on wearing my heeled ankle booties. I wanted to keep my makeup how I normally have it. Normally I'm not wearing a full face. I don't usually wear a foundation, but I wasn't having the greatest skin day. Also, in my headshots, I'm not wearing a whole ton of makeup, and you want to look like your headshots whenever you go out to an audition. And of course, as soon as I put on my makeup, my nose starts running. So I brought some powdered foundation just to touch up once I get there. I have about 30 minutes before I have to leave. I'm starving. I'm going to eat, and then it's time for me to go. I'm bringing this to read, kind of just to skim through it, small talk. It's a book on networking. Maybe it'll help give me some inspiration of what to say at this meeting. I should bring another book, but I also don't want to be weighed down by a really heavy bag, since this bag is already heavy due to my heels. Oh, I didn't even show you my heels. I'm wearing my duck boots on the walk there. These are the shoes I'm wearing. They're really cute, and I can actually walk in them. Wish me luck. Bye. All right, so the audition is officially done, and I think it went really well. It wasn't necessarily an audition, but more like a meet and greet. Like, hey, I'm here. Please be my agent sort of thing. It was an open call, so there was a bunch of people already there when I got there, and I let everyone go ahead of me. Everyone's trying to be super nice. I'm like, no, that's fine. I was the last one here. I'll be the last one seen, no worries. And when it finally got to my turn, he remembered me. The talent agent remembered me. I actually went to an open call back in October 2017, and normally if they don't want you, you hear back really quickly, like as a thank you for your time, but we're not interested in representing you. And back then, they took a good while, like 3 or 4 days to get back to me. And they had gone back with, unfortunately, we all have to agree to take you on, and we all couldn't agree to take you on, so at this time, we're not gonna. Yeah, so it was really nice knowing that some of them wanted to represent me, just not all of them. When I come in with my headshot and resume, the guy looks at me like, I've seen you before. I'm like, yeah, I met you back in October 2017, and we talked about my college the entire time. And he lights up, I'm like, yeah, I remember you. And he asked me, like, well, what have you done since this meeting? And I told him, like, I took a couple of extra acting classes, I took an auditioning class, I took an acting for commercials class. I've also done a couple of projects since then, and I have this really, I think, great relationship, but it's probably a decent relationship with a local casting director, and she's had me come in and read for a couple things. I didn't get any of these jobs, but the fact that she called me in for these jobs is a really good sign. And he seemed really excited. So I think it went really well, but it can go either way. The exact same thing could happen again. I could hear back saying thank you, but no thank you. Either way of like what happens, I'm really glad I went today. And the funniest thing actually happened on my way out. This building has one of those really old elevators that you actually have to close the cage. And I had forgotten that they had this really old elevator, and my anxiety went right through the roof when I first went in. It wasn't an issue going up, but going back down, there was an incident. I struggled to get in because the cage got stuck, but once I get in, before I have a chance to press any buttons, the elevator starts going up. I don't need to go up, I need to go down. I'm like, oh my god, this is it. This bitch is gonna die. I'm like, this is Tower of Terror in real life. And it's going up. I'm on the second floor, so it goes 3, and then slows down to 4. I'm like, oh my god, is this where it drops? Is this where it drops? And then someone opens the door, and she was not expecting to see me. And so she's visibly startled. I see go, but to be fair, not only was she not expecting to see somebody in this elevator, but she probably wasn't expecting somebody to be like a deer in headlights. So that was my bad. That's okay. We're both just incredibly anxious wee beans. So I'm back at South Station. I'm just waiting for my train, which is at, I think, 30 minutes from now. Yeah, I think it's at 30 minutes from now. I hope. I read for a tiny bit on the train, that like small talk book, and so far I'm not liking it. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I am going to try to listen to Becoming, because I should finish this audiobook sooner rather than later. I would like to finish before February 28th. I should probably stop yakking and start reading. I'm walking to work now, and look at this. This has to be the smartest thing I've ever seen. Just look at that. Mittens for your hands while you're riding your bike. I've never seen that before. That's such a great product. I wonder if that's been around for a long time and I'm just, a silly girl not realizing it until now. Wow. That's cool. Right, so it's Friday. I didn't vlog at all yesterday. I ended up working a double on Valentine's Day. I had hoped to have that acting job that I told you guys in this first part of the vlog, like in week 1. It was a long shot that I was going to get it, but I still had hope. But I had pretty much realized by like Monday night when I hadn't heard anything, it's like, you know what? Even though there's a chance I could still get it, I don't think I got it. And then Thursday came and went and I didn't get it. Yesterday is when I realized, when I finally started updating my part of the spreadsheet, that I only read 50 pages so far this week. That is unacceptable. So yesterday I buckled down and read a lot. So I buckled down and started listening to Becoming, because I should really finish this book this week. At least that's the goal. I don't think it's going to happen. It's probably going to happen next week. So I listened to about 50 pages of that. And then during my break in between the 2 jobs, because I worked one job in the morning, second job at night, I read 2 graphic novels just to try to crank out some pages. I read My Beijing, which I'm totally spacing on the author's name now, but overall it was very cute. It was very much this magic realism sort of story set in Beijing, like a very specific neighborhood. I feel like I'm going to butcher it, but I think it's called a Hotong. Please excuse the white girl accents. And the story focused on this little girl and her grandfather and their interactions with their neighbors. Like I said, overall it's very cute. There was 4 stories, and each story focused on a different dilemma. And the art style was very interesting. It had this watercolor effect. As much as I enjoyed it, though, I only rated it 3 out of 5 stars. I originally was going to rate it 4, but there's 2 overweight characters in the story. The grandfather and her friend, the little girl's friend that sticks up for her towards the bullies, because she's disabled and there's a bunch of kids that bully her for it. But these 2 characters are overweight, and though outwardly nothing bad was actually ever said about them, there's a couple points where they both bend over and their pants fall down, and then you see this plumber's crack, and that didn't really sit right with me. It felt like they were making fun of them. Now, it could be a culture thing. It could be because it is a kid's graphic novel. It was really just meant for a laugh for the kids. I completely admit that I'm probably being far too sensitive about it. I just didn't like it. It just didn't sit well with me, so I ended up rating it 3 out of 5 stars. The second graphic novel that I read was the second installment to Witch Boy by Molly Ostertag. I think this one was called The Hidden Witch. It was a really fun second installment to this story. I really liked how they introduced more people, and you can definitely see how a cast of characters are being put together for additional adventures. And even though I liked the overall story, I felt like it was rushed. Like this new girl who's our hidden witch, her backstory and the dilemma of the story was just, fast forwarded too fast. Hold on, I want to finish the story in a second. I'm actually at the store before going into work for a bit of a snack. Be right back. Alright, so I'm back. That Walgreens did not have a discounted Valentine's Day section. What nonsense is this? Back to what I was saying before I got distracted going into Walgreens. I read The Hidden Witch, and I said that I thought the story was really nice, but a lot of what happened felt super fast-paced, a little too much so. And I understand it's a kid's graphic novel, so they had certain amount of things needed to happen in a particular set of time. So I get it. It's just not to my preferences. But I liked how this story sets up for additional adventures to happen. I am looking forward to book 3, and I also enjoyed Molly's particular art style as well. I also rated this 3 out of 5 stars. And then when I got home last night, I realized because it was Valentine's Day, I hadn't posted in a while and I wanted to do a Valentine's Day post. And I specifically bought props for this photo and I didn't get a chance to make this photo, so that's what I did. I did some Bookstagram photos last night. It took me an hour just to get 2 overall photos that I liked. When you take pictures at night, it's super dark, and so I had to have additional lights on and everything kept glaring. And it also didn't help that I kept eating said props. So my props are a bunch of Valentine's Day candy. So by the time that was all said and done, I just didn't want to do anything else. So in total yesterday, I read 390 pages, which is a huge step up from what I've been doing all week. All right, hi everybody, it's Saturday and I'm going to wrap up this vlog here. I didn't really vlog yesterday after walking to work, and that's because I really didn't read much after getting to work. I had listened to Becoming on my way to work, as I said in that portion of the vlog, and then when I got to work, I sat down to read this. Don't Call Me Crazy. I got maybe 10 pages in, and then I got super busy at work. I was very surprised because it's never that busy, and I just didn't get a chance to read it. So in total, I only read 22 pages yesterday. That's not a lot. But today I sort of made up for it. Did my usual 9 to 5 at the main branch today, and I listened to a couple hours of Becoming by Michelle Obama. As you can see, I finally have the physical book. Now you can sort of see where I'm at now, where that bookmark is. Pretty much where I am. I'm nearly done with this book. I feel like if I sat down and actually read it and not listened to the audiobook, I would finish this within the next day or two. But I'm really enjoying the audiobook, so I'm not going to read this. This is really just so I can keep my place and know what page number I'm on. And this way I can see the pictures too. She has some photographs in here. Let me see if I can open this up. She has some photographs in here that I wouldn't necessarily get to see if I didn't have the physical book. And during my lunch break, I could have continued on with Don't Call Me Crazy, but while I was paging, I saw 2 books that really piqued my interest. One is a story about cancer with a happy ending. This was a teen graphic novel. It's very short, 96 pages. And the cover of it looked very pretty, and like a story of cancer with a happy ending. Well, that's different. So I sat down at lunch to read that. The title was pretty self-explanatory. The author had met a girl with leukemia, and the girl was upset. There's no stories about people with cancer with a happy ending, and so this author sat down and wrote this story for her. So the story is about a person with cancer who gets their happy ending. It's very hopeful. The story is very short. It didn't take very long for me to read it. I did end up rating it 3 out of 5 stars, but I really appreciated the hope that the story conveyed. Also at lunch, I started reading this. I just finished reading it now. It's Parkland Speaks. Survivors from the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas share their stories. I was astounded to see this, and also thought that since yesterday was the anniversary, the timing was almost too coincidental, and I felt like I needed to read this. I got through half of it, and then when I got home, I finished the other half. This was incredibly powerful. I keep saying it's powerful and heartbreaking all through all my reviews, on Instagram and on Goodreads. That's because I don't have a whole lot to say about this. This was really hard to read. This is basically just a collection of stories from the survivors. Some of them are poems like this, and you can see the poem format, and the others are more like short stories or little essays. And there's photographs of the survivors and photographs of the school in the healing process of the events throughout the book, and just seeing all that was just made me choke up quite a few times. I can't imagine living through something like that. For me, Valentine's Day is about, holiday of chocolate hearts and flowers and cards, and that's not like that for these kids or for these teachers. It was a lot to handle. I rated this 5 out of 5 stars. This was just far too intimate not to rate it a full 5 stars. So in total today, I wrote it down, a total of 315 pages. This was not quite 200 pages for Becoming and that other graphic novel. So a total of 315 pages. So not as impressive as last week. Last week I did read over 2,000 pages, but that's because one of my books counted double the points. I think this week I was supposed to do another
prompts, like host a 24 readathon. I think I'm going to try to do that this weekend. I got an unexpected day off on Monday. I got an email from my boss from my first job while I was at my second job telling me, hey, I forgot to tell you, but we're not actually open on President's Day. Don't come in. And I'm like, yes. And so since I actually have a day off, I think that's when I want to try to incorporate that 24 readathon. I actually don't know if I'm actually going to do it. I'm a person that very much likes her sleep and taking care of herself, and I think 24 readathons are just a little too much for me, but we'll see. We'll see how I do. I was going to try to read some more tonight, but honestly, I have an audition tomorrow for this little indie film, and I need to actually prepare lines. I haven't done any of that homework yet. So yeah, I guess that is it for this week. Wish me luck, guys. Help me break a leg down in the comments. Also, let me know what you're reading down below. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I guess it's ta-ta for now. Bye, guys.